Hello, my lovely viewers. I am back again, probably faster than you expected me to be. In this video, since in my previous video I talked about my therianthropy and pet regression for a little bit, I wanted to show off my therian gear and my other accessories like kemonomimi. See, I am that thing and I can't even say the freaking thing. Let me look this up.
Kemonomimi.
Okay. In my brain I say it as kemonomimi, so I'm gonna say kemonomimi. I will be showing you in this video my therian gear, kemonomimi accessories, and furry stuff that I have. You can kind of see something over there. But to start off, I want to show my masks that are of my stereotypes. Let us get into that. The first one of my masks that I'm going to show you is my Burman cat mask, and this was actually the first mask that I did anything with, and I just used colored pencil and markers. Like this is colored pencil, and this, and you can't really see it very well on the camera, but there is a bit of like shading, I guess, here. And then the darker bits are with marker, as well as like the eyeliner parts. And I really like this one, but I didn't put a lot of effort into it because I was really scared to do anything with my masks because at first I only got 5 of them. I just used plain cat masks off of Amazon to make all of my masks. I use the paper ones, not plastic ones, because like I think you can draw on them easier, but also like paper is porous and plastic isn't, so if you want to glue anything to it, you can do that a lot easier. But back to my Burman cat mask. Here's what it looks like on. I like to put my lip right here underneath where the end of the mask lip ends, I guess. For some reason it's like different on each side. I don't know about why that's going on, but yeah. I still really like this mask. I just don't wear it very often. Let's move on to my next mask. So here's my face again. My second mask that I made is my silver fox mask, and you can see compared to the regular cat mask that I extended the snout, and I did this basically for this one I used cardstock, but with my other future masks I used cardboard, and the cardboard is better because it holds its shape more, and like cardstock you can squish easier, and that makes me very anxious. So I definitely would recommend using cardboard or something better than cardboard if you're going to make the snout longer. But for this mask, the thing that I did differently from the Burman cat mask was that I put like black t-shirt material that I cut up from a t-shirt over it completely, glued it on with trusty Elmer's glue, and then painted on top of it. I painted all the markings, I painted on the nose, and then I also glued on this black faux fur. I don't remember where I got this specific black faux fur from, but there are better places to get it from. You can also use yarn to make wefts that are like fur or hair. If you watch like doll customizing videos, you'll know how to make yarn wefts. So definitely think about that if you're gonna add fur to your mask. I really like this mask because like I said in maybe my last video, or maybe I cut it out or something, it's like an emo fox. And I am an emo fox. So here's what it looks like on. I think it's really cool, and I really like the ear fluff. There is a bit of glue that dried into the fluff right here, but like nobody can see that unless I'm touching it and talking about it. So another thing that I want to point out is that I painted the underside of the muzzle pink to look like the roof of your mouth and gums. For this mask, I did not add teeth because I didn't think of that yet, I guess. And I also put some fabric on the inside here where my nose sits, just so it feels a little bit better than paper rubbing against my nose. And I also put black paint around the eyes. This was firstly because like I didn't get the fabric to be all the way to the corners of the eyes, so I had to touch that up with paint. And then I also did the inside to be like, think of how cheetahs have eyeliner and it helps them see better. Like if there's white around the edges of your vision, it looks weird. So I did black around the edges and it looks way better, in my opinion, I guess. I don't know. Everyone's eyes are different, so do whatever you want. Third mask that I made was another silver fox one, but this is my other stereotype, which is a white mark silver fox / a marble silver fox. I have still not figured out what the correct name is, so if you know, let me know. But this one is almost the same as this one. It's just much lighter gray, and obviously has the white muzzle and whatever this shape on an animal's face is called. And I did cute little dots for where the whiskers come out. I really want to put actual whiskers on one of my masks, but I don't know what I would use for that. If you have suggestions for that, let me know, or I'll just go on TikTok and see if someone's posted a tutorial. My idea is probably like the fishing line string that I also used to use for candy, but I worry that would be too floppy, so maybe something like wire, but I also don't want to stab myself by accident. But this mask also has the fluffy ear tufts with the same faux fur that I used for this one, and the inside I forgot to do the pink here for some reason. Also, this one I used cardboard on, so it's much stronger. Also, I forgot to mention on this one, I drew a little face here because these look like ears. Something else that I did on this one, you can kind of see, I put varnish on the nose so it would be shiny and look wet. Apparently I didn't do that on this one. Varnish that I use for paintings and other things is Liquitex Professional Gloss Medium and Varnish. Fluid Medium, I think there's different ones, but yeah. This one, it's not very smelly, so like, unless you're going like, which you shouldn't be doing probably, it's not gonna like stink up your room or anything. I don't think you have to use it outside. I don't go outside to use it, so I've probably been huffing so many Liquitex fumes, but that's fine. Anyway, here is what the other fox mask looks like on my face. This one I kind of revised how I made the snout, because this was the first one I made with a bigger snout, so you can kind of see that the way I did it is more of a straight line instead of this wavy shape. I made it this shape because I wanted the shape of the face to continue when it looks down, which is how it sits on my face most of the time. And then I figured out, like, I can just continue the shape. I also wanted to mention that around this time that I had made these masks, I also made a wolf mask for my boyfriend, but obviously that's at his house hanging on his wall, so I don't have it to show you, so I'll put some pictures up on the screen. I did the exact same thing as these masks to make it, with covering it with the t-shirt material and then painting on it. His mask doesn't have fur on it, but the snout is longer on his mask because obviously wolves are bigger and longer than foxes. And I just wanted to mention that right now because it was around the same time frame. Anyway, back to my masks. So my next mask is my tuxedo cat mask, and this is a just painted mask. This one has no fabric or fur on it yet. I kind of want to put fur on it. I just haven't gotten to it because my fur, here's a little chunk of it that's just on my floor, is kind of flimsy and floppy, and I am getting some better quality fur very soon, so for now it's naked. This mask is also my first mask that I added piercings to, and to do this I just used some air dry clay and made out the shapes on the mask and then popped them off to let them dry overnight, and then I painted them with some metallic silver paint and then glued them on there good. I don't remember if these ones are glued on there or if they just stuck on there, but I know these ones and the eyebrow are definitely glued on there, just with Elmer's again. The air dry clay that I use is very cheap. It is literally from the dollar store, but I use Make Shop air dry clay in the color black because, like, it doesn't matter what color it is, I'm just gonna paint it most of the time anyway. But if you can, you should definitely get better quality air dry clay. I have nothing to recommend to you, I just say this is probably not the greatest. Also, if you're using air dry clay, make sure you close your bags to it, because I left mine open one time and like half the bag was air dried, because obviously it's air dry clay, but like so much material wasted, and I just need to warn you not to do that. What the mask looks like on my face. Obviously this is just a regular, mostly unaltered cat mask, so like it's just a cat mask. But I really like this one. This one like feels like the most me, I guess, at this point. I mean, you can see that guy and I'm gonna be like, this one is me next, but like the colors are basically the same, so like they're both me. Really all of them are me, but like I don't know. I also like that my snake bites show. Anyway, that's just me being happy, which I'm allowed to do because this is my video. I can do whatever I want. Wanted to mention another mask that I made for my boyfriend, but obviously again I don't have it. I made him a German Shepherd mask, and that one is the first one where I extended the ears on, and I also extended the snout obviously, but I also gave his teeth for the first time. Again, I used air dry clay for that, and same thing with the fabric on it, and then fur in the ears, I believe. Oh yes, I did fur for the ears and also on the sides of the mask. And again, there should be pictures on the screen right now. I also did some like blood details on it. And that mask was the first one that I added mesh eyes to. I have these mesh eyes, which originally were gonna go to the white silver fox mask, but I decided that I liked it too much without them. So they've just been sitting here in my room for like a year. But eventually I will use them, I guess. On the outside, they are obviously white with the brown and then the black and then the eye shines, but on the other side, they are black. And I painted this side black because it's much easier to see out of black than it is out of white, which I don't know how it makes sense, it just does. And I wanted to let you know that tip if you're going to make mesh eyes. I also got that mesh from Michael's, I believe. Next mask, and my most recently completed mask, is my Border Collie mask, which is so fluffy. This is the first mask where it is mostly covered in fur. Basically, I've altered all of it. The ears, I made the one ear longer and the other ear flopped over, and then I made the snout much longer, and here's the bottom. I'll get to that in a second. So for this mask, I covered it in the t-shirt material all over again, and then I also glued on this white faux fur fabric. I painted the inside of the ear here, and I also painted black around the eye. I also painted the underneath of the mouth pink. It's very splotchy, as you can see, so I'm definitely gonna touch that up in the future, but I just couldn't wait to make this video. As you can see, this mask has a bunch of piercings as well, 2 ear piercings on either side, as well as a bridge piercing and a septum just like me. And this nose I also made out of air dry clay. All the piercings and the nose and the teepees under here are all air dry clay, and then I painted them and varnished them and glued them onto here. I do need to like re-glue them because I just did Elmer's, but I would much rather use hot glue to attach these small things, like I did on the German Shepherd mask that I made. So here is what the mask looks like on. I really love this mask. And like I said, I was gonna say, this one and the tuxedo one are the most me feeling masks. Also, it's so fluffy feeling. And I just really love it. And I just, it makes me so happy. I literally finished this today so that I could record this video. And I'm so happy that I did because it's so cute. I'm really happy with all of the effort and details that I put into it. I'm just so happy. And I hope you guys like it too, because I really like it. This mask also has the fabric in the nose bit for my little sensitive nose. You may have also noticed that there is a red and white mask up there, but that one is, first of all, not done and not close to being done. Second of all, is not one of my stereotypes. That's just an OC that I am making into a mask for fun. So I'm not gonna show this one in this video, but maybe in a future video I'll be like, oh, by the way, it's done now, if you're interested in it. So that is all the masks that I have to show you. Next, we should turn our attentions to my tails. Well, I have several different tails. Some of them are taxidermy and others are faux fur, completely fake everything. So I will show you them in the order that I have acquired them. So my first tail here, I'm gonna have to back up a bit to show all of it. This is just a brown long cat tail that I got from Rainbow Lion Designs on Etsy. And it came in a bunch of colors, but I got brown, of course, to match my Berman cat-ness. And it has two elastic loops at the top of it, so you can stick a belt through it and wear it like a tail. I don't know what else you would do with it. So, here's just me miming as if I have a belt on right now. But, yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty long. Which, I could smack you. It is very soft, very fluffy, and I like this tail a lot. I don't wear it often though because it is so long. My next tail here is a real tail. This is taxidermy. It is from a real animal. I got this one at my town fair, but I did not know where it was originally coming from. So I am pretty sure because of like how slim this tail is, how it fell apart several times, but it was not done well because a lot of taxidermy tails come from fur farms, which are unethical, and you should not buy from somewhere where you know they are getting their tails from fur farms. Fur farms exist solely to raise an animal and abuse it in its lifetime so that its fur can be sold later. So basically, abusing an animal all its life just to make a profit off of it, which is bad, by the way, if you didn't know that. And I wanted to like make this known because a lot of people have the idea in their head of like, well, I cannot stop fur farms from doing this, so I'm just gonna buy one from Amazon anyway. Amazon sellers get their tails from fur farms, but that is so dumb because you are just giving money to a abusive, exploitative, unethical industry, and by giving them money, you are just letting them do this more. You do not want to support these horrible things that are happening. And I just cannot understand how anyone could willingly buy from things that they know are unethical. Because my first real tail broke, I ended up buying this tail from an Etsy shop called Wildcat Taxidermy, and I feel comfortable recommending this shop to you guys because I have looked into them and I know that they source their tails ethically and their other taxidermy because they do other taxidermy. But this tail is very soft and fluffy, has not broken. I have sat on it accidentally and trapped it in a car door multiple times, and it hasn't broken on me yet, so I'm really happy about it, obviously. After I got that tail, I also got this tail, which is a lot darker in color than this one. This one is more gray, and this one is more black. And as you can see, I have a little keychain on here that I made that says puppy. And I guess pretend this is a candy tour for a second. Ooh, little candy keychain. So those are all my real tails. I only wear the two that have not broken. So this one is just to hang up in my room because obviously I'm not gonna get rid of it. That was a real animal at some point and it had a life and I still want to like honor it. I'm petting it right now. I still want to honor it and I'm not just gonna throw it away because that feels like a waste of a life and I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I want to let people know that they don't have to get rid of things that they got from unethical sources because that's just a waste. Here's what the fox tail looks like, by the way, as well as the lighter gray one. So my other tail, which I kind of lied to you, technically this was my first ever tail when I was a child because I liked to be a cat for Halloween. So this tail originally did not look like this. It was just plain black fabric and I covered it with black faux fur. I sewed this all on here. I also sewed on 2 little elastic bands so that I could wear it on my belt. And honestly, this is really adorable and I love how it's really small. And here's my little kitty one. It doesn't usually sit out this way, it sits sideways most of the time, but I'm fine with that. It still looks cute either way. My final tail, which I was very excited about and I got for Christmas, is my puppy tail. This one I got from Peach Hound on Etsy. It has these 2 bands like the other tails to put on your belt loop, and it's very big and very fluffy and stuffed, so it's very huggable. So here's what the puppy tail looks like. It also wags pretty good. If you watch my TikToks, you'll see that I wag it a lot when I wear it because I'm just so freaking happy to be wearing it. Next up, I want to show off my ear headbands, which are more of a kemonomimi accessory, but I also use them to express the therian in me. And I actually have those over on my wall, so I want to show you how I store them, I guess. You can see I have this nice little shelf that has little hooks on it that I can put all my cool headbands on. And also my necklaces are hung right above it, which is pretty awesome. And my mirror is right next to this. Hello. The first set of ears that I got were actually from a good friend of mine. And they are blonde ears because I got them when I used to be bleach blonde. And they have this cute little popsicle charm as an earring. I also added bells to them. I just looped a bit of string around the headband so they jingle when I'm moving stuff, which is pretty fun. I might do that to one of my other ears in the future, but these ones are really cute. They move around on the headband, so if I wanted, I could be super up here like a rabbit almost, or like a regular cat, or I mostly have them like this, or when I used to wear them more often, I would have them like this out to the sides, just because I think it looks cuter. My second pair of ears here I got for Christmas 2023, and they are red and black cat ears from Neko Fam Shop on Etsy. I highly recommend these ears because they are really high quality and really just good looking in general. So here, there's black on the back and then red on the front, and they match my hair pretty good when my hair is more freshly dyed. This is a couple weeks out, so pretend you can't see that it's a little faded. My next ears are also from Neko Fam Shop on Etsy. The next two, actually, these ones and the last ones are all from Neko Fam Shop. So these ones are big floppy puppy ears, and they're very fluffy, and they have little earrings in them, and on this side they have a little pentagram charm. They are very floppy and I love them. And as you can see from me touching them, you can bend them and pose them however you want. So if you want to have giant bat ears almost, you can do that if you wish. I don't think it suits me that well, but if you want to do that with your ears, do whatever you like. Gotta fix my fur up there. My last pair of ears are some smaller puppy ears, again, also from Neko Fam Shop. These ones are red and black, like my cat ears, but you can't see the red unless I bend them up. So, like, these ones, I have them to the side so that they can be, like, puppy-wuppy and kind of cover my human ears, oh no. But you can also move them on the headband and do that with them and bend them like this. I wear these, like, on a pretty regular basis, and I really like them, especially because they're much smaller than the big floppy ones. They're, like, I feel like they're less noticeable. Because, like, you can see me from a distance and be like, oh, you have big hair. But if you're up close, it's like, bro's a puppy. Another accessory that I have is paw gloves. And these I got off of Amazon, like, 3 years ago. And they are, like, I believe silicone paws, and they're kind of squishy. And they're kind of impractical to wear, but I wear them anyway. I also have paw socks, but obviously I'm not going to wear those for you on the internet. Finally, for the paw gloves are these crochet paw gloves from Hot Topic, and I like these ones because they have little hearts. Another thing that I've done that makes me feel a little closer to my therian identity is to put paw markings on my shoes. So these are my black Converse, so obviously I had to paint on them with white, and I did some little claws. It's kind of coming off, so I'm gonna have to redo it. And then I also have paws on my regular Converse that you may recognize if you watched my Bead With Me video, not the last one, but the first one I did. And if you haven't seen that, you should go check it out, because I think it was a pretty fun video. Lastly, we are going to get into the more strictly furry accessories. These are my hand paws, which I got from Spirit Halloween last year. As you can see by kind of how the claws look and how you can't really tell, but the fabric is kind of raggedy and not really soft. These are not the best quality because obviously they are mass produced from Spirit Halloween. So these are a great, like, cheap option if you really want hand paws but you can't afford to pay someone to make you custom ones. I also have these furry leg warmers, which I have on a hanger just for convenience, from Spirit Halloween also. I'll give you a pro tip though. If you get furry leg warmers, or any leg warmers in general really, you should try and, like, pin them up. Like, if you're wearing pants, pin them to your pants, or if you're wearing tights, pin them to your tights. I have found though, if I pin them to the bottom of my shoe, not the bottom, but like the bottom, I'll put a diagram on the screen to show you how I pin it to my shoe, and then it doesn't slip underneath my shoe and get all muddy, because that happened the last time I wore them and it sucked really bad. I also have these ginormous bright pink leg warmers from Walmart, and these leg warmers actually came with little wrist cuffs, and I wore the wrist cuffs as leg warmers, and I thought they were super cute because they're really tiny compared to these ginormous ones, and the big pink ones just feel obnoxious and I'm not ready to wear them yet. So now I fear I may have to get my dogs out, because I am going to show you my handmade fursuit feet paws that I made myself with a pattern from Spilt Grape Soda on Etsy though. I must shout that out here. So here are my big fluffy fursuit feet paws, and here's what they look like from the side. As you can see, they kind of go out like this to make the appearance of digitigrade legs like an animal has. I really wanted to make these with brown fur and then white toes, but we could not find any brown fur at the time. And now if I were to make these, I would make them with black and then white fur. And also on the bottom, there were actual paw beans. Like I said, I made these from a pattern by Spilled Grape Soda. So if you want to make your own giant freaking fluffy feet, you can go and do that. Now, for the final event of the video, I know I have mentioned it last time and also at the beginning of the video, but we are going to look at my fursuit head. So, as you can see, this is not done. It is not furred at all. I just am very proud of how I've sculpted the foam, and I wanted to show it off since I'm showing all my other furry crap in this video. So this is, like I called myself in my last video, my kitty fox pup self, with one pointy ear to be the kitty and fox side and one floppy ear to be the puppy side. This is made out of foam, and again, I'll put it on the screen what kind of foam I got. It's from Walmart, and I just cut everything with big kitchen scissors and then smaller scissors for smaller details, and hot glued everything together. I used Sky High Studios bucket head base tutorial as a starting point to make this, and then everything else was completely me. So let me show you what it looks like on my head. Ooh. So here is me as my furry self. And I am really proud of this. I love how squishy and floppy. Oh, some foam dust just came off of there, or maybe it was regular dust. I'm just really happy with it, and hopefully over time I will get to show you my progress. Like I mentioned earlier, I am waiting for fur to arrive. That is mainly for this, and then any excess fur I'm going to use for tails and masks and any other projects I feel like. Oh, also something fun I want to mention. I can pick the nose. Like, I can get really deep up in there. Ooh. Bro. Achoo. Jeez Louise. But yeah, I am really proud of this. Here is 360 degrees, top side, upside down and backwards, the ears up close. This one's kind of wompy, but hopefully the fur will cover that up. Same thing over here, just don't look at my mess. Here is way up close in the face. Something else I want to mention is that you should totally follow me on my other places. I have TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Bluesky, and Tumblr. All of those should be pawbead except for my art Instagram, which is desktopkittypaw. And if you know me from Kandipatterns, you'll know my username on there is pawbean. So thank you for listening. So that was all my therian gear, kemonomimi accessories, and my furry stuff. Now that we're near the end, I just wanted to mention that if you are a therian or otherkin, I know I haven't said that word at all in this video, but similar idea, you do not need masks or tails or any other kind of gear to be a real therian. Therianthropy is a mental thing, and if you feel that you are a therian, you don't need to have gear unless you want it. If you want a mask to look like your stereotype, or if you want a tail because you feel a phantom tail and you want it to be a real thing next to your body, that is perfectly okay, and I love that for you because I'm the same way. But you do not need that to be real or valid. But it's important to remember, especially if you aren't a therian, that gear does not make you a therian. Gear does not make you otherkin. You don't need gear to be a therian. That is not what it's all about. If it was, that would just be dressing up for fun, which is also something you can totally do. If you aren't a therian or otherkin, and you think that the masks and tails are really cool and fun, then you can totally make a mask or wear a tail because you like it. You do not have to be a therian to have a cat mask. So many people have probably bought cat masks without even knowing what therians are, because cat masks aren't freaking owned by therians. They're just something that people sell on Amazon. Another thing I wanted to mention was you also don't have to do quadrobics to be a therian either. Quadrobics is a sport, it's an exercise, and it is not a therian specific thing, and not every therian does do that. I can't really do quads because I have chronic pain, which I haven't mentioned on my channel before, but that is something about me. I have chronic pain in my legs and my joints, and it's really difficult for me to do quadrobics. I do them around the house sometimes for fun, and I tried really hard last year in 2024 to get good at it, and I kinda did, but just because of the pain I experience, it's really hard for me to do it for a long time, and it's just really intense on my body. It's still something fun that I do, but it's not something I can do as often, and I know a lot of other therians who are disabled who can't do quadrobics even if they would like to, because they just can't do that with the limitations they have in their body. And even if you aren't disabled and you just don't want to do quadrobics, you don't have to. And you aren't an invalid or fake therian if you don't do quadrobics. And I just wanted to mention that at the very end here. Congratulations for making it to the actual final end of the video. For making it to the end, I am gifting you a little therian patch through the screen. I'm just gonna squeeze it right through the camera and out of your speakers or something. So, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions or questions for me, leave them in the comment box down below, and I will try and respond or take your suggestion into consideration. And thank you for watching all the way to the end. I really appreciate anyone who watches all the way to the end. If you're new here, you should definitely subscribe if you like the video and you want to see more. As I always say, peace, love, unity, respect, and responsibility. Bye!